Welcome to the Whiskey Hour podcast. I'm your host, Phil Charleston. I'm joined by my co-host, my brother in arms, Jay McLovin, Jay McMinn, aka Jay Smooth. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, I can't complain. Everything is under control here at the house. No forest fires. Life is good. How about you?
As you can see, I'm in uniform doing some carpool karaoke right now. So it's been a busy day, but hey, I'm above ground, so I can't complain, right?
When you're in the military, your car is your office,
Look,
or
it
you're
had me
running
thinking
with
about
the
those
street to figure out
memes.
how bad your day's going.
It had me thinking about the meme when they say the platoon sergeant sits angling his car, just in his uniform, man.
Man, I love those mid afternoon naps in the car on the lunch break. I was like king of that mess. But yeah, so what we got going on the show today, Phil? I know we got somebody.
Well, first and foremost, this is episode 5 for us, Jay. So for those watching, again, the Whiskey Hour first inception was back during COVID, peak COVID 2021. Took a hiatus, but we're back again. The momentum's been great. 5 episodes in, and we're just enjoying it right now. We're loving the conversation. We're loving the response. We're loving the fans. So just thank y'all again. Y'all can watch us and find us at the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network on TikTok and Facebook. We will be moving to Instagram soon, so be on the lookout for that. But we have a very special guest today, like Jason alluded to. This person is a producer at ESPN, the creator of Modern It Girl, a former news producer at Fox, and was nominated 3 times for an Emmy. Give it up for Julie Christine, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Well,
Julie,
hello,
it
Miss.
is a it's an absolute pleasure to have you. Unfortunately, I can't stay on the call with you guys today, but please don't let Jason drive you too crazy, and I hope you enjoy yourself.
I will.
All right,
All
go
right,
ahead, Jay.
man.
Take
Be
me off.
good, Phil. Don't work too hard.
I
No,
try not to.
Well, all right, Julie. Let's get into this thing. I know we had talked about the Olympics and wanting to cover and talk about the controversy surrounding the Olympics. So let's dive right into it, man. I'll set it up, and then you can give me your thoughts on it. Australian break dancer Ray Gunn is what she goes by. Her name is Rachel. I forgot her last name. Julie, do you remember her last name? I had
I
it
think
earlier.
it's Gunn. Like some
Or
that's like
Mitchell, I
short
think.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, and so obviously there's a lot of hatred that Ray Gunn is going through. She's from Australia. You know, she went out there and she did her little routine, and you know it got a lot of controversy. She's been mimicked for the kangaroo hopping. She tried to basically do the sprinkler and a lot of other moves, and it wasn't really received all that well. What do you think about that? Because to her, she said this was absolutely devastating with the jokes and the memes and all of that she's been taking all the criticism on social media.
Well, I actually have a dance background. Like I tapped for like 10 years and I did hip hop as well. And it was embarrassing. It's embarrassing to see they no longer have it next year. For 2028, they actually eliminated the entire breakdancing category because of the incident. So yeah, and yeah, it was really bad. But like again, she like apparently was also like the way they did it, they think that she may have like bought her way in because she like had some connections or like her like husband was the judge or something like that. So everyone's like actually like wondering exactly how she was able to even get that far.
Yeah, it's crazy because, you know, it got so bad that people actually formed a petition about it. I mean, we're talking 50,000 signatures. I mean, that's devastating when you know that all these people are doing a petition because you were selected to go and represent it. And they're quote unquote saying, well, she didn't take it seriously, that, you know, it came off too comical and too funny. And according to her, she says she absolutely took it seriously. And this is a very well educated woman. I mean, she's a doctor.
No, she's a PhD in breakdancing.
I mean,
first of all, why would you? It's so. Like, why would you study breakdancing? But yeah, she's like a PhD and she's like a professor. And I'm like, all you need to know is rhythm. Like, I guess she had to study that to get to like, I don't know.
Well,
It's
you know,
bad.
It's crazy because you're right. She's got a PhD, but yeah, she got 0. This is how many votes she got. 0. Not even 1 vote. Like, what in the hell? Now, the Olympic Committee comes out and they're defending her. The Australian committee is coming out. The AOC is coming out and defending her. But
Yeah.
I mean, come on, I watched it, Julie. Look, I ain't lying. I watched it.
They
And
like the little like cork. I don't even know how to call it. The stapler. A stapler. I don't even know what kind of move that was. So bad.
well, so it was supposed as a sprinkler. It was a hopping kangaroo. Those were the two biggest. I watched the whole routine, and I got to tell you, I was dumbfounded from the minute it started to the minute it ended. And there were parts where I laughed my ass off. I'm not gonna lie to you. I laughed so hard. And
That's gonna be the new. I bet you $10, Jay. That's gonna be the new Halloween costume, hands down this year.
I mean, the memes themselves. I mean, literally the memes themselves. And they just been making a mockery of. And I don't know how you. She can't go anywhere because you can go anywhere. People know who you are.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'm just trying to say. I mean, the hatred. I can't get behind that. I mean, people. It is what it is. But I mean, I think people definitely took it way too far. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I probably will use a few of those memes because it's damn funny.
I mean, she did entertain us. Like, let's give her that. But it was for the wrong reasons. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we kind of laughed at her instead of with her. So yeah. But she was completely serious the entire time.
Yeah, I wonder if. Well, you said they did away with the brain. I mean, think about this. This is the woman that's going to go down in history as the one who got breakdancing eliminated from competition.
It's pretty bad. And I think they should add. I also have another argument. They should add competitive cheerleading to the Olympics because I was a former competitive cheerleader. That it is insane the level that they shoot people through the air, and that I'm like, that's a sport, but that's not. It doesn't. That's a whole other.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew. I actually went to a couple of those competitions, and my stepdaughter was in them, and I saw it. And what they do, and oh man. They themselves are like a little snarky group between I mean, there's a lot of cattiness up in those competitions. And I used to do the little fundraiser to help her get money to go to this competitions. And I'm just watching all this cattiness. And I'm like, are you sure this is something you really want to do? Because, but you're right. I mean, they throw them up in the air. And I mean, it's insane. And I know if I did something like that, they'd just let me fall. I'd probably slap right into the ink frame. So I have all the I give all the props to you. If you're one of the ladies that has to catch them and toss them, hey, more power to you. Because I mean, and there's a lot of injuries in it. I know Dulce had to wear a knee brace and a bunch of other stuff because she would take on these knee injuries. And yeah, I mean, it's and I'll tell you, like I said, it's extremely competitive. I mean, I thought football was competitive, but these girls will literally chew you to pieces if you're not careful. I mean, it's catty. I don't know if you experienced that when you were in, but it was super catty.
I mean, not really. I mean, but I love just seeing them perform because again, it is like another art form. Like you're literally throwing someone through the air, and then even one time I saw someone like go through someone's legs to the other side. It's so acrobatic.
Oh, that's insane.
It would be so cool. That's what they should do. Not breakdancing, no offense, but like
because I mean, literally the level of strength and accuracy and balance and all these other attributes that you have to do competitive cheerleading because it's intense. And yeah, I mean it's right there. It's right. It fits right there along with the acrobatic floor routines and stuff like that. I mean, I can absolutely see how that would be relatable, much more than breakdancing. I mean, come on. I mean,
there's a Ukrainian contestant with a do-rag. Like you have to like. This is actually happening. Like you got to think it's comedic, but it's actually.
Yeah. I will tell you, the coolest dude in the entire Olympics was that dude from Turkey that won the silver medal. I have never seen a guy more relaxed.
He was a hitman, Jay. Everyone's joking, being like he was a hitman. They're like, we need someone. He's like, I got it. You know what I mean?
I mean, he kind of almost had like a little gangster lean. He's got his little hand in his pocket. He's like, yeah, I do this for a living. No, I mean, because everybody else has these super little crazy things with their eyeglasses.
Yeah.
And they got all these little, it's just, and he's just up there like, man, here, I'm like a little simple Walmart gun. Bam, bam. All right, I got silver. I mean, he just looks so easy. So easy. So yeah. So I guess we need a hit, man. Get the guy from Turkey. I'm not promoting that, but
everyone's like, where do they get this guy? That's what everything's going online.
I don't know, but hey, the U.S. could use him on our team because I don't know. I don't even know if the U.S. medaled. I don't know. Did we even get a medal in the shooting event? I mean, America did not do. I got to tell you, Julie, we did not do as well as I thought we were. America did great in the basketball and things like that. I think we did okay in the swimming. But when it came to that gymnastics side and then track and field, we did pretty good. But in terms of the balance beam and the uneven bars and all that, we did with the pommel horse. I mean, hell, even our best one fell off of it. And Simone Biles, I mean, she fell off the pommel horse, I guess it was.
No, it was the beam.
Oh, is it the beam? Okay, I just think she fell and hit the ground.
Men's, we got a bronze medal in pommel horse. That's when the guy's like on the little, kind of looks like he has like rings on it.
Oh, right. Well, they almost look. And again, I am not a gymnastic aficionado, so I know there's one with the. Yeah, you're right, because it has the little rings. That's the pommel horse. And then there's the long, skinny one. Like, I think it's like a 4x4 in size. Okay. Yeah, we're on the same page now. But yeah, I mean, it's just. I really thought because normally we do much better. This is the first time I mean, we have not. I mean, was it France did quite well? I think China did quite well. But then here's us, and we just kind of pooped the bed a little bit in that event. So hopefully,
the Childs thing, Jordan Childs thing, we got to talk about because
we're getting into that. We're getting into that. Let's go. You know what? You brought it up. Let's just go ahead and hit it right now. Yeah. So she gets stripped of her medal, right? Mm-hmm. Now they go to the judge. And they appeal it, and she wins the appeal. Mm-hmm. And literally, they give her 1/10 of a point. Mm-hmm. That's what they gave her. Mm-hmm. And of course, the Romanians are like, "Hey, they're protesters saying, hey, this isn't right because you supposedly have 1 minute to appeal, and if you go beyond the 1 minute, it just doesn't count. You just lost it." Well, she was apparently 4 seconds after the minute, and so they took it away from her. I gotta tell you, Julie, I don't like it. I mean, because what if the guy was talking and they just didn't happen to see? I mean, what do you think? I didn't like that.
I think it was heartbreaking to see the Romanian person like see the results where she was already celebrating holding the flag that she got it and then being like womp womp. I think also that Jordan already won the gold for all around. Her and her team just won the gold section, but the fact that I guess she wanted to have the bronze so badly just because of difficulty, that's what they came across because their floor routine was more difficult.
Right.
But I think like at the end of the day, it's so back and forth at this point. I would just keep it. Like that's just like you've already got the podium, you already got like the bronze. I just don't see why they're still arguing about it. Like that moment's already like passed. So why are they still arguing?
Yeah, because in a lot of sports, when mistakes like that happen, like in a football game, a basketball game, a baseball game, whatever, before, and I'm speaking obviously before instant replay, before they had review cameras and all that, if a mistake happened, even if the referee made a mistake, they would just let it fly. Hey, you lost. I know there's a mistake, but hey, it is what it is. But the Olympic Committee, they literally go back and forth. Does that not make the Olympic Committee judges and all that as a whole? Does it not make them look bad?
It looks really bad because again, it's like their argument was one that they countered. So again, what happened was that she was already in 5th place. They said that like, okay, based on difficulty that she should be, awarded. Again, they had 1 minute to do it. They said they were over 1 and 44 seconds or something like that. But at the end of the day, she already got the medal. She already got the podium. The whole back and forth is just like now it's just getting like confusing and it doesn't need to be anymore because it's like the moment has passed. So yeah, it looks really bad because they can't decide what to do.
Yeah, and again, this is they have literally 4 years to rectify this, right? You got 4 years. The Olympics are coming to LA in 2028, and that's another thing. The Olympics. It's not like it's every year. I mean, it's only every 4 years. They got 4 years to get this right. They got 4 years.
We're just getting started because there were so many errors. There were so many errors.
I mean, seriously, it was a complete. I can't say the word I want to say show, so we'll say blank show, but you know what I'm saying. It was a total one. Total. And everybody knows it. It was all over the news, everything.
Yeah. You heard about the scene, right? That they actually like swam in like the water. Like that was a whole different thing too. It was so bad.
Right. Now I want to say this, Julie. Her score, the initial score before it got bumped up and then taken back down, her original score was 13.666. I'm sorry. If I'm her, I'm telling them, look, you got to do one or two things. You either A, bump me up a 10th and make it 667, or you bump me down one and make it 665. Do not leave me with 666 because that omen I do not want carrying in next year or next 4 years from now. That's just a
again,
crazy number.
already had a gold medal, and it wasn't like she wasn't going to walk away with anything. She already had a gold medal, but apparently she was so distraught that she didn't get beam or whatever. That's what's ridiculous.
But well, is it ridiculous or is it the competitive nature? Because you got to think though, people are in those kinds of sports. I mean, they are cutthroat competitive, and I think you have to be cutthroat competitive because of the intensity that which you're going against, right? I mean, it's hard to get a ding medal in those things. So, I mean, I think that's just the ultimate competitive. I don't fault her for that. I fault the IOC for giving a point, taking a point, giving a point. I fault them for that. They should have said, nope, I understand you want it, but nope, or yes, and then that's it. It's done. It's over.
Yeah.
Move on.
It's emotional roller coaster.
And that's another thing, right? You're playing with people's emotions, right? Which is not fair. It's not fair to anybody. It's not fair to the country, the fans, the people, the sport. So I implore the IOC, you got 4 years to rectify this. I don't want to see this again in 2028 in LA because you know in America, LA, they riot. I'm just saying.
Get it together, folks.
Things go wrong in LA, they riot.
Yeah.
But no, let's look. Okay, so then let's look at Canada for a minute. Let's look at our neighbors, the Canucks up north. They removed their soccer coach. The Canadians removed their own soccer coach. Why? Because, and her name is Bess Priestman. Woman coach was using drones to spy on the New Zealand team. You got drones. Did they not learn anything from Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots? They were having in Spygate. Come on, why Spygate? You know that you can't just spy drones. And then she's like, well, I'm so sorry I did this. And she couldn't believe it happened. No, you're spying. Come on. What are we doing, Julie?
It's just pathetic. Like, honestly, like you have to do that. You have to do that in order to like, no, that's ridiculous.
Do you have so little faith in your team that you have to spy?
I know.
Come on.
Guys, can you imagine the setup? Like, guys, I have an idea. Let's do drones. And they're like, what? Like, it's so insane.
And I mean, hey, look, I have a drone, but I'm not going to go spy on nobody. I think that's just ridiculous that you have so little faith in. And not only that, but it just gives your country a black eye, right? I mean, look at Houston. I'm still dealing with trash cans. My neighbor put a trash can on my lawn the other day and it was painted like the Astros. I mean, come on. I got some mean neighbors, Julie. They're bullying. It's so hard to be an Astros fan these days. But I'm just saying, it makes your city look bad. It makes the fan base look bad. It makes the team look bad. It's just ridiculous, right?
It's embarrassing. Like, what if the drone, like the battery died and just like completely, I don't know. There's so many comedic things that could have gone wrong, but yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, come on, man. And then to make matters worse, in the Olympics, you got British commentator Bob Ballard, who was pulled from Eurostar's Olympic coverage for sexist remarks after the Australian swimmers won gold in the 4x100 meter freestyle relay. What's up with the Australians?
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know.
If their break dancers not screwing them over, then you got the British commentators screwing them over. So I mean, it's a rough year to be in Australia.
But no, I don't feel bad because Australian swimmer was totally shitting, excuse my language, on the US team. You're being like, I so want to be an American. So I think that's what really started it for us, I guess. Like, maybe that's karma. I don't know. But Michael Phelps got really upset the way the Australian swimmer was talking about beating the US. So maybe it's karma.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just crazy. So to go on what he said, this is what he actually said. Following the race, Bob Ballard said, well, the women just finish it off. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Well, the women just finishing off. And then he goes on to say, you know what women are like, ... hanging around doing their hair and makeup.
Oh, man. I'm trying to keep it in. That's just so disrespectful. Like, you could have said anything else, but you had to say that.
You might as well just came out and said women belong in the kitchen. What are we doing? I mean, come on. If you're going to go that far with the hair and makeup comment, you might as well go all the way because you don't put your
like make me a sandwich guy. That's who he is.
Hey, look, if you're going to say some stupid stuff on air, which, by the way, he should have known in his brain saying, should I really say hair and makeup? I mean, come on. But if you're gonna go, hey, but Bob, if you're gonna go in, you got to go all the way in, Bob. If you're gonna screw up, just make it all. I mean, don't just do a halfway screw up. I mean, do all the way in.
What we really mean, Bob, whatever his name is. Don't care.
Now, we're going to transition into Blake Lively. I know you had brought that up, you want to talk about. I got to be honest with you, everybody. This is the first person I did not know who Blake Lively was. I feel so ashamed of myself for not knowing it. But it is what it is. But Julie, go ahead and tell us about what Blake Lively did, and then we'll discuss it.
Well, there's this like ongoing thing that's happening on social media where she's getting dragged in the mud because of her rude encounter with interviewers to cast, and then now with her new movie coming out, which is It Ends With Us, she has been like glorifying domestic violence, which is based off of a novel by Colleen Hoover, which is supposed to be like a huge like bestseller, community rallying around it. So they think they did a disservice doing the movie and they wish they casted someone else. But on top of that, during the press tour, she just has been like, grab your florals, you know, and grab your friends and like go to the movies, when it's like really about a domestic violence book. And it's just completely going over her head when it comes to what the message is about, what needs to be more important, and that it's not like grab your florals type of movie. But everyone's like, she's rude, and like all of this is coming to fruition of how she really is in person.
Right. And, you know, you would think, wasn't there another actor that had a controversial statement kind of like that? Well, I think it was Mel Gibson. Was it Mel Gibson? Remember back in the day?
Maybe. I don't know about that, but I'm sure he's controversial.
I want to, and I'm pretty sure he did, because I think it was, the movie was when he was doing Passion of the Christ. I think there was a lot of controversy over Passion of the Christ back in the day. And he kind of, you know, got into some stuff. So it happens. I mean, I can't believe it happens. I mean, you would think, but in terms of Blake Lively, you know, does this, like, what does this do to her career? You're a producer. I mean, you know, you kind of know some behind the scenes in the, I guess, in that kind of world. Doesn't this kind of like want to ruin her career in a lot of ways?
Well, okay. So whenever I work with like talent or people that are on camera, I always be like, how are they? Like, you always have like that like little like silent conversation, us producers being like, what can we prepare for? And she's probably one of the people where you would have to prepare to work with, because she oversteps the boundaries. Apparently what was happening, she wanted to be the director. It went to Justin, her co-star, instead, and she made it known on set, apparently, or allegedly.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to being a producer, you're being a producer, you have a job, but don't overstep like the director's opinion. But with her, she was a co-star, she was a producer, and I think the theory is, or whatever going around, that she also wanted to direct, but it went to Justin, and she made it very uncomfortable for the rest of the crew. So that's what I think happened.
It was Mel Gibson, by the way, so I was correct on that. And if this happened, so in a statement October 28, 2016, he is quoted as saying, "It was an unfortunate incident." He said, "I was loaded and angry and arrested. I was recorded illegally by an unscrupulous police officer." And you can read more into that, but I don't know. Mel Gibson always tries to play the victim. I'm curious to see what Blake Lively is going to say, you know, after all of this, because you got to imagine her agent is over there thinking like, oh my God.
It's
and
bad.
her PR person is probably like, well, there it goes out. Somebody's got to be going into damage control for her. So I'm curious to see what's going to come out of that to try to resurrect her career, if in fact it can be done. Because let's be honest, anything that's done with domestic violence in the world of sports or even in any other kind of TV, there's always repercussions. There's always, you know, some sort of disciplinary action that's coming out, whether it's a fine or a suspension or whatever. So I'm curious to see what's going to come out of this with Blake Lively going forward.
Well, okay, you have to understand, sometimes they say don't meet your heroes, because I've worked with a lot of, like, I met Snoop Dogg, I met a lot of people being a producer. So like, but sometimes when you meet them, they actually expose who they really are. And yeah, it's like kind of like that, where people thought of her as the one way, but now it's coming to light who she really is. So that really does happen sometimes in the entertainment industry, where people are portrayed some way on camera, being like the nice guy or whatever, but in real life, they're not that way at all. So that's what's happening right now. Like, the truth is finally coming out. People were wondering, like, you know, why there was rumors, and now they're kind of like understanding as to what was going on behind the scenes. People thought it was Justin, the director, who was the problem, but now they're all saying like it was probably Blake Lively. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you know it. I mean, that buck is going to get passed around every which way it can, as long as it doesn't stick to somebody. So yeah. I mean, so now I'm curious. Now now I have learned something today, and I am going to start following this a little bit more closely. And because I'm curious to see now what happens. Real quick, we just got a few minutes left. I want to get your idea of who do you or what school do you have? We're getting ready to go into college football.
Mhm.
Who is your school that you follow, and then who do you think is going to win the national championship?
Oh God, I have no idea.
Come on.
I mean, I went to JMU, but we're like, in our own category, but like James all the way. But I don't know. What about you? What do you think?
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. I think Georgia has a good team. I think
Mhm.
Kentucky's going to be a surprise because they got their Vandergriff. I can't remember his first name, but I know his last name is Vandergriff. The former quarterback that was over at Georgia, but he went into the transfer portal when Beck was it, and so now he's over there in Kentucky. So I'm curious to see how he's going to do and how that Kentucky team is going to do. But obviously, I'm a Texas guy, and I really like what Steve Sarkisian is doing with UT. We are now in the SEC. No more Big 12. So now I'm really curious to see how we're going to handle the SEC. Oklahoma's over there now. So, and Texas is ranked number 4. Georgia's, I think, number 1. Oregon, I think, is number 2. Ohio is somewhere in the mix. So I'm curious, but I like what UT's doing. I'm liking what Ewers is doing. I think he's going to go well in the draft. But more importantly, I just want to get Ewers out of the equation. I'm ready to bump up Archie Manning and see what this guy's capable of. So I really like what Texas is doing, and I have high hopes that they will compete for the national championship. More to follow on that. But there's a lot of schools. The Pac-12 went away. Now they got teams going over into the ACC. So it's going to be interesting to see how well those Pac-12 schools will translate over in the ACC. But yeah, it's going to be fun, Julie. It's going to be fun.
I do love football season. I love, it's my favorite season. So.
Who's your NFL team, Julie?
I don't want to get into it, but I'm from Virginia, born and raised. So I would say Commanders, but we're not good in football. We're just,
I don't know. I think you might be turning the tide, Julie. You got Jalen Daniels. He's got a hell of a good quarterback over there.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Because the whole ownership thing, that's been a whole deal. And so I'm hoping that we'll actually not choke during playoffs, because every single time we get to playoffs, we always can't follow through. So,
well, I'll tell you this. I think the ownership group you have now is going to be better than what you had. I would never be Snyder. Yeah. So I think you're heading in the right direction. And if you could take Jerry Jones with him, I'd be happy. I'm ready to get some new ownership in Dallas because we got terrible ownership. So it is what it is. But as we're at the end of the show, Julie, tell everybody where they can find Modern It Girl.
Okay, so I also produce and edit reels, but I also make website. But you can find Modern It Girl on TikTok, on YouTube. I just did a Simone Biles video. It's inspirational, but it's also showcasing people with talent. Sometimes that doesn't happen in the media. So I like to highlight those who are athletic, who actually have that it factor, hence the name Modern It Girl. So yeah, you can see my produced edits and videos on TikTok and on YouTube. But the Modern It Girls is on YouTube. Modern It Girl is on TikTok. But yeah, and same on Twitter. But I have a huge following. It's growing. But yeah, I just produce content because I'm so tired of some people getting attention in the media where they shouldn't. So
absolutely. No, I couldn't agree with you more. And yeah, absolutely. Catch Modern It Girl. I think you're going to enjoy it. TikTok, YouTube. And thanks for watching the Whiskey Hour. Julie Christine, thank you so much for being on the show. And if you like the content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And Elite Sports Entertainment Network. And y'all have a good day. We out. Peace.